Hi class, so today I am going to give you guys your notes on writing equations section E from unit 5, day 2, and today we're specifically going to talk about slope-intercept form. You need to memorize the names of the forms because I was just looking at the test and one of the questions on the test is, here's a graph, write an equation in point-slope form. You need to understand what that means. And what that means for point-slope form is you're going to write an equation that has the parentheses in it using any of the points on the line. But what that means for slope-intercept form is you're going to write an equation with the slope and the y-intercept. So you need to know the difference between the two and what they look like. That is something that you need to study. That is something that you need to know and have memorized. So just as a reminder, slope-intercept form is this: y equals mx plus b. And I wrote this down in the notes, but I'm going to write it again. The m is the slope. I wrote that down here in the notes, like I said. The b is the y-intercept, not the x-intercept, the y-intercept. So that is this number. No signs change in this form. So I don't swap any signs. I do swap signs for point-slope form. I do not swap signs for slope-intercept form. So example 7 says, rewrite this equation, y plus 6 equals negative 4 parentheses x plus 2 in slope-intercept form. This is something we've done before. This is not new, but this is something that I want to make sure that you guys know how to do. So for this example, the way that we get into slope-intercept form is to get y by itself. So in order to get y by itself, in this situation, which is in point-slope form, I'm going to distribute first the negative 4 to both parts of the parentheses here. Okay, so I'm going to distribute negative 4 to x, so negative 4x. And negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. On the left, I still have y plus 6. And in order to isolate this y and get it by itself, I'm simply going to subtract over the 6, which is going to combine with the negative 8. I am left with y equals negative 4x minus 14. So why am I doing this type of example again? Well, it is an important skill in this section to be able to fluidly go from point-slope form to slope-intercept form. So how do I go from one form to the next? To get into slope-intercept form, I just get y by itself. That's what it means every time. We are in slope-intercept form once y is by itself, okay? And so if I said, what's the slope of this line? You would say it's negative 4. And if I said, what's the y-intercept of this line? You would say it's down at negative 14, 0, negative 14. You'll do the same example with 8 on your own. Go ahead and give it a try. I will kind of give you one hint though. When you distribute 1/2, don't be afraid, half of 18 is 9. That's how you multiply 1/2 times something. So I kind of got you started there. Why don't you pause this video and, oops, that should be a -5. Pause this video and finish this example, and then check my answer key to make sure you got it right. Hopefully you got it right. We are going to move on to writing an equation in slope-intercept form given a graph. This should be a very quick problem. It should be, to be honest, quite simple because you should be able to physically see the y-intercept. This y-intercept is right here where I just put this pink box around, and that's the point 0, negative 4. So where does the line cross the y-axis? It crosses it at negative 4. That is the y-intercept, so that's the b value. And what's the slope? Up to right 1, up to right 1, up to right 1. So the slope is 2 over 1, which is just 2. The y-intercept is negative 4. And if I plug right into the formula, I get y equals m is 2, 2x, b is -4. That's the answer. These should be quick problems. You should be excited when you see this problem because, oh sweet, this won't take me very long. I want you guys to pause this video and I want you to try example B, and I want you to check my answer key to make sure you got the right answer. Hopefully you got the right answer. I'm going to do both of the next examples because this is the new information for this section. We've done the other two types of problems before, but this is brand new. We talked about this yesterday, writing the equation, but this time in slope-intercept form, given 2 points. So the first thing I need to do is find the slope of the line. To do that, I'm going to use the slope formula, y minus y over x minus x. So if you are given 2 points, you should always start with that. So let's see. Don't forget points are x, y, x, y. So I'll start with this first point. The y value of this first point is 1, and the y value of the second one is -5. So y minus y is going to be 1 minus -5 over x minus x. I must also start with this first point. Since I started with the y's on that point, I have to start with the x's on that point. So that's going to be 2 minus -1. Hopefully you're saying, wait a second, minus a negative turns to a plus. So 1 plus 5 is 6 over 2 plus 1, which is 3. So this slope is 2. That is the slope of the line. The only problem is I don't know the y-intercept of the line. So I can't jump right to slope-intercept form. Instead, I have to start with point-slope form. And to do that, I can choose either one of these points. It doesn't matter which. I'm going to choose the point 2, 1. So this is point-slope form. Let's see. I'm going to do y minus my y value of the point that I chose, which is 1. Here's the y value. And then the slope is 2. 2 parentheses x minus my x value, which was 2. So this equation that I just wrote is in point-slope form, and now what I'm going to do is move it so that it gets into slope-intercept form. So on the left, I have y minus 1 equals 2x minus 4. All I did was distribute, and now I'm going to add the 1 over. Use a calculator if you must. We have y equals 2x minus 3. Now the y is by itself. So now my equation is in slope-intercept form. Okay, so if you need to write down the steps, these were the steps. 1, find the slope. We use the slope formula for that. Step 2 was to write the equation in point-slope form. And step 3 was to get y by itself. And that's in slope-intercept form, once y is by itself. Okay, so if you want to pause the video and write down those steps, that might be good for your notes. It's exactly what we did. We found the slope, we wrote in point-slope form, we got y by itself, and that's my final answer. Now, example 11 is a little bit different because we're going to get a weirder slope, but one of the points they gave us is special. So let's talk about this one. The slope for this line, y minus y divided by x minus x, is 7 minus -4. This is the slope formula, y minus y over x minus x, 0 minus 6. Okay, minus a negative turns to plus, so I get 11 over -6. So what I meant by this is a weirder slope, this doesn't reduce. So this is my slope. Now, if I do point slope form, which I can with this point, really I can with either point, it might be hard to work with that slope fraction. I'm not going to give you guys weird numbers like this unless one of the points I give you is the y-intercept. And I want you guys to look really closely. This point is the y-intercept. And how did I know that? I know that because the point is 0 and then a number. So I don't need to start in point slope form. I still am going to do these steps, but I can eliminate this one because I don't have to write in point slope form when I already know the y-intercept. I can actually jump right to y equals mx plus b. The m is the slope, which is negative 11 over 6. Like I said in another video, I always like to bring that negative to the top. It doesn't matter if it's on the top or the bottom. And the b value is 7 because of the point 0, comma, number. So my final answer here is y equals mx plus b. The m is negative 11 sixths x plus b, which is 7. So I can actually jump right to the answer for this problem. You can only do this if one of the points starts with a 0, which did not happen in the problem above. So usually we have to do these 3 steps. The only exception to that rule is if one of the points that I was given is a y-intercept. So hopefully that makes sense. Go back and rewatch if anything didn't. But those are the notes for writing equations in point slope form. Day 1 today was slope intercept form. Have a good one.